we're going to talk about today is two things. We're going to start off the floor and work our way to the roof. What you see above you is our top-notch 350 subfloor. The top-notch 350 subfloor is a mid-range. We have three different ranges of subfloor. We have what we call commodity, which is our 250, our mid-grade, which is 350, and we have a premium subfloor, which is our 450. 350 is a mid-grade. It is a subfloor that meets or exceeds all requirements by the APA, which is the Engineering Association for stiffness, density, and performance, and we are monitored by them regularly. This product is a little different in the fact that it has a fully sanded face. If you are to walk on the floor upstairs, you'll notice it'll be a little different than this. It's fully sanded. It has a finished surface. It also has a self-draining system, so when the framers put it together, they butt it all up. It has notches on the tongue that allow water to escape from the floor, so water doesn't puddle on the floor. So when you're walking someone through the house and it's after it's rained, you won't have to worry about walking through puddles of water on the floor because it is self-draining, and you don't have to have your framer come back and drill holes in the floor, so you don't have to worry about seeing all these holes in the floor. So it's a pretty straightforward product. It does carry a 50-year warranty. It carries a 100-day no sand guarantee. What that means is that if within the first 100 days that it's installed in the house, if there is edge swell between the seams where you have a lot of moisture and the seams do swell, we'll pay the cost to have the floor sanded. Now, we've not had to do that with these guys. We really rarely have to do that. It is a good product. It performs very well. There's other good products out there. This is made in Roxborough, which is relatively close. So when you talk about green, you talk about proximity and manufacturing. The wood that goes into this mostly comes from North Carolina or Southern Virginia, and it is manufactured very close to here. So it's a North Carolina product made with North Carolina wood, and we always like to say it's putting North Carolina people to work. So we're kind of proud of that.
Yes.
The second product I'm going to talk about is kind of the more exciting product, subfloor. Once you get carpet on it, it's forgotten about most of the time. This is textural gradient barrier sheeting. This is a product that we've had on the market approximately 11 years. We were first in the market with it, and it had led the market for a long time. What it essentially is commodity OSB, which you'll see on most houses. You don't see it on, by the way, and I'll stop here and notice. Props to Terramor. You don't see commodity OSB on this house. You'll see Zip System, which is a good product, and you'll see 350 Subfloor, which is somewhat of a premium product, and you'll see TechShield. A lot of other builders will use entry-level commodity OSB, cheapest they can get, don't care about the quality, and it's not knocking on the builders, but it's a compliment to Terramor that they'll use premium products and pay a little more money to get it on the house. So what TechShield is, it's a commodity OSB, and you look in the back, it would just be standard OSB sheathing. And we take and laminate foil to it. And after we laminate the foil to it, we'll actually puncture the foil into the substrate. And that's important because when you put something on a roof, and you'll see it up there, that has foil on it, it traps moisture. And once you get it on a roof, it rains, you get felt or shingles on a house. If you had a foil on there that didn't have incising or perforation, you would trap moisture. And what happens when you trap moisture in wood is it's not a good thing, right, Joe?
That's right.
It's not a good thing. When you trap moisture in wood, you have a tendency to get telegraphing on. If you've ever seen a house where you've seen the OSB telegraph to the shingle, especially in the morning when you'll have the dew or when it starts frosting, you see it a lot. What happens with this is it allows this board to dry out just like it didn't have foil on it. It's very important. You know, that's the construction, and as far as what it does and how it works, it's real simple. It blocks 97% of the radiant heat from entering attic. And if you can imagine, most of the radiant heat enters your house through the roof of your house. The sun is always going to be beating down on the house, almost always on the roof. And this is going to block 97% of that radiant heat from the sun.
Are you kidding me? 97%?
No, 97%. So it is, we have data and I'll back it up.
You have proven that.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Couldn't say it if it wasn't true, trust me.
That's right. You make it true.
Trust me, my legal department would not like it all if I was out there
You're on
talking about
video
it.
now.
Rob, isn't it Oak Ridge Laboratories in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, that is our third-party testing?
They do that, that's correct. And we also work with, it's an Energy Star certified product, and the reason I have this board here, and we'll point that out to you, but we have a lot of second-party data that's independent of LP that substantiates that. So it does block 97% of the radiant heat from entering the house, and it does, most of the radiant heat goes through the roof. So that's number one.
That's huge.
So that's huge. Now what happens when you block 97% of the radiant heat from entering your house? Well, if you walked upstairs today and walked up the second floor and into the attic, if this was a walk-up attic, you wouldn't think about it, but you would notice that it's much cooler in the house right now than it is outside. It's shaded, so it's shaded normally, but if that wasn't tech shield, it would be shaded, but the heat would be oppressive. Because that heat, what radiant heat does is it doesn't have heat attached to it until it touches something. So once that radiant heat touches the OSB on the roof, it is transferred into the house. What the foil does is it blocks it. I always tell people, think about it this way. You've seen potato chip bags that have had foil inside of it, or cereal boxes that have bags that have foil inside of it. The reason they do that is because it helps block the heat from entering the product and helps elongate the life of the product. So 97% heat translates into about a 30-degree difference in temperature in your attic on average. So if it was 130 degrees normally in the attic, it would be 100. So today when it's going to be about 90 degrees, you've all had, in my house it does, you walk up in your attic and it is ridiculously hot. It gets to be about 100, 130, 140 degrees in the temperature in the attic at this time of year.
Yeah.
It'll end up being about 100. That DVD I gave you has an illustration that demonstrates that. So if you want to show it, give it to a homeowner or show it to a homeowner, fine, get a hold of me, I'll get you more, use it. That's what it's for. It does help sell the product. So it lowers the temperature of your attic about 30 degrees. What that does is if you have an attic-based air handler system or HVAC system in your attic, if you have ductwork, imagine the 30-degree difference in temperature. It helps the efficiency of your HVAC system that's based in your attic. It helps cool down the ductwork and make the ductwork work like it's intended to do. So it does help. It helps me make for a more efficient HVAC system. It helps lengthen the life of it because it's not as stressed as often. It also, a lot of people don't think about this, but it also makes it so you can use your attic, if it's a walk-up attic, to store stuff in. Because right now, when it gets to be 130, 140 degrees in the attic, you probably don't want to put anything too valuable up there in the summer because it will be damaged.
You don't want to leave candles up there.
No, trust me. You don't
I've
leave
done
candles
that,
up there. But it does. It's very effective. It works very well. As far as being green, it is extremely green product. I mentioned that this product too is made in Roxborough, North Carolina. We were proud to launch that in Roxborough in July. So it's something we're very proud of. Again, it's a way for us to keep people in North Carolina working. And I always tell people this, and irrelevant to today's conversation, but through this whole downturn, we've only had to let go of 2 people at that mill. So it says a lot for what we're able to do in the efficiency of the mill. It is an Energy Star approved product. We're the only radiant barrier that will have an Energy Star label on it. So every board we manufacture has an Energy Star stamp on it, and you'll see that right here. It does get Energy Star points. It also helps you get green points.
And that label is, and you probably know more about it than I do, but that label is not one that you can just stick on any product. Y'all have to go through a rigorous certification process to be able to do that.
And there's no question about that, which brings me to my next point. One of the things, and the last thing I'm going to leave you with, it's for savings for your homeowner, the way you can sell it to a homeowner, it'll save them about 17% on their heating and cooling costs on average per year. Now, we used to say 20%, and we still believe 20% because we feel like we have data to back it up. But Energy Star asked us to mention 17%. They felt more comfortable with us saying that. And for us to comply with the requirements and keep the label on there, we did change our message to 17%. So there are some things we have to do. But 17% on your annual heating and cooling cost. Now, I always qualify this. I have 3 kids. So if you have kids running in our house in the summer, all bets are off. It probably won't be 17%. It's more like 10%. It's all relative. But there is a savings. It does pay for itself over time. It does cost more than the standard commodity board, but there is a quick return on that investment. Very quick. Questions?
But Michelle, I think you said your average energy savings on that one plan you did was about $58 a month.
That's right.
That has Tech Shield on it,
Yep.
and that includes that 2 to 3% additional cost.
Right.
It includes this product.
That's right.
So it does pay for itself. We all the wood comes from SF5 managed forests, so we're not clear cutting forest and walking away and just leaving the forest there. We're responsible about how we manufacture the product. We use 100% of the log and the manufacturing process. Many people don't realize that. When we debark it, we use debark for fuel to power the plant. So there's nothing we don't use in the log. When you talk about a green building, guys, and I always joke about this, you can't get any greener than wood. We're all very responsible of the resources we have, all manufacturers. Schuber is, LP is, because it's what keeps us going. If we weren't responsible about it, we'd put ourselves out of business. So this house, you can't, I mean, you look at all the wood that goes into this house, we were just talking about, there's a lot of lumber in this house. It is all green, it is all responsible, harvested, and you can't get any greener than this. Questions?
It's got a 30-year warranty.
It's a 20-year warranty on it. It's commodity board. We warrant it against the lamination. Basically, is the foil peeling off. If the foil comes off, it staples back on. It's not an issue. I've never had a warranty claim on this product since I've been working with LP. It's a pretty straightforward. It's really simple to manufacture. It's simple to sell. I always talk on this house. The two features that would catch your homeowner's eyes are going to be number one, they walk up and they're going to see the green zip system, which is a good product. They're going to walk in the house and they're going to look around. They're going to see the shiny foil in the house. They're going to say, "What's that?" That catches their eye. I had a builder tell me not too long ago, and it was a custom builder in Raleigh. This is probably the one Energy Star product they use that gets most noticed by the homeowners, because you can't see low E windows work. You don't. I mean, crawl space in the ceiling. You can't see or feel that. It's there. It's working. You just know it. But you can see and feel this work. So it is easy to sell. It is a great product.